How's it going, Dopamon fans? If you've been following along on the channel, you know I've been talking about the top Russian prospects for the 2022 NHL entry draft, and today we have my number 4 and first defenseman on the list, Vladimir Grudinin. A left-shot defenseman standing 5'10" and weighing in at 159 pounds, Grudinin isn't the biggest on his team, but don't let his size fool you. He bounced around between all 3 leagues this year in the CSKA Moscow system, and is the only first-year draft-eligible player to score a point in the KHL this season. Yeah, that's right. Of all the incredible talent coming out of Russia this year, Grudinin is the only one on the list that scored a KHL point. His stats do tell a few stories, though. During the regular season at the junior level, Grudinin had scored 2 goals and 11 assists for 13 points in 18 games, which is a good pace for a defenseman. But in the playoffs, he only totaled 1 assist in 8 games, that 1 assist being in the last game of the playoff finals where they lost. When we look back, Grudinin scored his last point on February 27th, 2022, then played 7 games in the KHL and 7 games in the MHL before ending that 14-game pointless streak on April 25th in that playoff final loss with that 1 assist. Going almost 2 months without scoring looks bad, and I think it may have caused him to drop in some scouts' rankings. But don't let the stats scare you away. During that time period, Grudinin had been called up or sent down 9 times, often in the KHL gearing up for a game and not playing at all. It was hard for him to find offensive consistency as a result, but his overall game didn't suffer. His offensive production is something I want to get back to a little bit later, but let's talk about his game first with some video. And I'm going to start with the best part of his game, the defensive side, where the standout for Grudinin is how he uses his skating and physicality to defend, especially on the rush to deny the opposing breakout, like in this clip. Or here, defending the center of the ice, physically engaging and using his stick to free the puck. And again, using his quick skating to change position and physically engage. Even from the offensive zone to ensure puck possession in a quick transition. And he doesn't need to rely on physicality to defend. He uses his elite skating to close the gap quickly and attack the would-be puck carrier. Like here on the PK to quickly clear the puck. Or standing his ground at the blue line here to make a quick pass before the opposing player can reach the puck. And here in the defensive zone, recovering the puck for another quick transition. And again in the offensive zone, being first on the puck. Or even this interception in the neutral zone, where he has such a small gap between him and his check. But it really shows in the defensive zone, like in this clip, quickly recognizing the turnover and attacking the puck carrier. Or breaking up this 2-on-1 with his stick. Or this stick lift on the weak side of an odd man rush. And when he can't deny the breakout, he tracks the puck in the defensive zone really well, like here getting a stick on the puck and deflecting it above the glass. And again to track both his check and the puck to block the shot. And he tracks the puck on the cycle well too, like blocking shots, though I'd like to see him commit more to using his body rather than standing in the way. He's also quick to battle for the puck in the corners, and is strong when pinning players against the boards and using a stick to free the puck. And again in this clip. Or in this clip, how he gets inside positioning on the puck to knock a bigger skater to the ice. And he's also quick to recover the loose puck in front of the net. But more importantly, he battles for positioning both with his body and his stick. Like here, how he gets inside positioning on a bigger skater to free the puck. Or here, lifting the opposing skater's stick. And in these next few clips, just being physical in front of the net. At only 5'10", Grudinin is one of the smaller players on the ice, but among his peers in the junior league, he is one of the strongest and most physical. And that physicality translates most to his lower body and makes him an elite skater. And I want to focus first on his foot speed, like how he accelerates here with the puck, even if he isn't able to get it into the zone. Or here, pivoting and faking with his feet to lose an opposing forechecker. And him doing it again from a better angle. And he can do it while skating too, like here, breaking a forechecker's ankles. Or off the face-off for a quick play. Or in the offensive zone to fool defenders and make space for himself. And he uses that footwork for tight edges to accelerate from standing. But back to his leg strength, and we see that best in his balance, like here in the defensive zone when he pivots and maintains possession of the puck as he gets tripped and stands back up. And in these next races for the puck, where he uses his strength to win body positioning as he's skating. Often we see that smaller skaters are faster because they're lighter, but in this case Grudinin is incredibly strong for his size, and I think that's his biggest advantage over other small skaters. He's already able to play at the KHL level against men without his size limiting him. Now let's get on to his offensive game, and I've saved it for last because I think it's the area I feel he still has the room to improve the most. And for defensemen, it really starts in the defensive zone, like this breakout pass that leads to a goal. Or in this clip, his slick moves starting from behind his own net to make a breakout pass on the power play. And I've shown this one before, but it really exemplifies how he uses his skating as a weapon in the D zone to make space for the breakout. I will say that early in the season, I noticed he was making poor breakout pass decisions, like in this clip when he holds onto the puck for too long and makes a bad decision under pressure. Or this clip where he doesn't hold on to it long enough and makes a bad first pass off the face-off. But both of these examples were in September, and I feel like he has improved since. But for someone with his mobility, it's really about how he carries the puck. Like here retrieving the puck on a broken play and carrying it through the neutral zone. And on another broken play, carrying it through the neutral zone again, leading to an assist. And on the power play, scanning his options but deciding to carry it into the offensive zone himself. Though I have noticed he's often forced wide. He doesn't rush the center of the ice, and he relies more on his skating than raw puck skills, which makes it easier to force him wide. Even going back to this clip that led to an assist, he's forced wide in the offensive zone, and it's the skills of his teammate that really finish the play. In this one I've also shown before, where his speed and mobility are completely negated at the opposing blue line. He doesn't attack the middle of the ice enough, and I think his impressive skating masks the lack of elite puck skills, and I think this is important because I think it also translates to the offensive zone. Now, he can take a slap shot, and he can wrist shot the puck through traffic. And he can make tight passes under pressure. He also knows when to activate in the slot. And he's able to use his mobility to make space for himself along the blue line. But rarely do we find him using his mobility to take the puck to the net. Going back to this clip once again that led to an assist, he's forced wide in the offensive zone, and it's the skills of his teammate that really finish the play. Grudinin rarely displayed those elite finishing skills himself. And I want to link all this back to his offensive production that I mentioned earlier in the video. Grudinin had not scored a point in almost 2 months to end the season. While part of that was due to bouncing between the KHL and MHL and getting weird minutes, I believe part was also on him not going out there and creating those offensive chances. He was taking much less offensive risks and was playing a much more conservative defensive game. That being said, he still has all of the fundamental offensive skills necessary for a defenseman, and I consider him to be generally above average in all of them. All I'm saying is that he lacks the top-end scoring ability that the other defensemen in this draft have, which separate them in the eyes of many scouts. And at no point did the defensive side of his game ever suffer. If anything, his lack of offense has helped expose just how good he is defensively because he kept games even when he wasn't scoring. He was never a detriment to his team, he was just never, he was just often not providing lots of offense. So, in conclusion, big things come in small packages, and that's Vladimir Grudinin. He plays much bigger and stronger than his 5'10" stature, and pairs elite mobility with an incredible defensive sense. I think the floor is pretty high on him. He'll never be a liability on the ice, and can just be paired with line mates that provide the offense he's missing. Defensemen don't always have to have elite offensive skills to be effective at the NHL level. This doesn't mean I think he'll never put up points, because with his speed and ability to move the puck, he generates a lot of offense from the back end, but I don't think he'll ever be the primary producer or number 1 D on an NHL team. And I think that lowered projected ceiling on him is why he isn't generally considered a first-round pick or grouped in with all the other top defensemen in this draft, even though I think that when we look back at this draft in 20 years, you'll have one of the better and longer, more successful careers. So I'm going to rank him in the 45 to 55 range, because that's about where I think he'll go in the draft, though I would really like to see him get drafted sooner. As far as teams I think he could fit on, Edmonton, the Edmonton Oilers, where I think his ability to generate speed from the defensive zone could really vibe with Connor McDavid's ability to score at high speeds. Their 29th overall pick is the only pick they have in the first 4 rounds this year, so Grudinin could be a no-risk option for them if they decide to trade down maybe for 2 seconds. You don't want to lose in the draft if you'd only have 1 or 2 early picks, and Grudinin is a safe choice. I think the Minnesota Wild he'd also fit on. They made a top pairing D out of another small defenseman, Jared Spurgeon. And I think they could do it again with Vladimir Grudinin. And I don't want to play armchair GM too much, but I think he would be a perfect defensive partner for Seth Jones with the Chicago Blackhawks if they plan to keep him long term through that 8-year contract. Jones has always been an offensive guy that's kind of struggled defensively, but it didn't really show as much in Columbus when his old team was Zach Werenski as his partner, as it does now in Chicago on a weaker defensive team. I think Grudinin has the smart defensive game, skating, and ability to really complement what Seth Jones lacks. And as Grudinin has only one more year left in his KHL contract, according to Elite Prospects, he's going to spend a lot of that year in the KHL and then be ready as soon as September of 2023 to fight for a spot on Chicago's roster. He'll probably play in the AHL at first, but with his skills, I think that he'll quickly be suited for the NHL a lot sooner than I think many people realize. So, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to follow along with the rest of my scouting reports I have planned until the draft. We're Dopamon, my best friend, and I talk hockey news, analysis, playoff coverage, and we have a lot more draft coverage and stuff coming around, so stick around. Peace.